Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Three Men Press, where three of the best minds in African football have come together to give you guys a show where we're going to speak about some of the pressing things that are happening in football. My name is Jos Bukwena, aka Overthinking Football. Then on this side, Kono Football Talifang, and then on the other side, Coach Wheel. But hey,
that's not me, coach, just by the way.
Oh,
by the way.
Fine. I mean, I'm just wearing.
You're just a layman.
It's okay. I don't know, Paul. I don't know. Guys, remember, this show is not for us to be right and to tell you what's happening. It's for us to put things on the table so that we can have discussions about whatever it is, hopefully to improve this football that we love. Gents, the biggest story coming out of the past few days.
That Safa's great. Safa's planned. Safa's got us here. Got Mbokazi, talent, national gem. It's going to America. Oh, bro. Safa, bro.
Yeah, well, we're going to jump straight in. Mbokazi is going over, apparently, allegedly, reportedly. He's going to Chicago Fire. He has signed. Apparently, at the end of AFCON is when he's going to move over. He was at the Pirates game, Maobane, even though he didn't play. Ukochute, he doesn't know about any transfer. Guys, I'm going to start us off here. How do you feel about the transfer?
For me, I feel like it will affect Pirates in a major way. Okay. In a sense that you might argue that they've got a lot of defenders. I mean, Pepe hasn't played, Usesane. Hasn't played. Who else is there?
Oki.
Easy. Clock is finished, bro. Finished, cooked.
Comment. But anyway, yeah. So, but if you look at them, they are all right-footed, you know. And the way Pirates wants to play is that they dodge the midfield and they don't play through the midfield.
Yeah.
You know, their system is simple. It's a diagonal dodge from Siema to the opposite winger. It's a diagonal dodge from so their balance in the build-up will be highly compromised. Maybe it would have worked if Sipo was left-footed. You know, as a coach, you can always adjust the goalkeeper to be in that position. But also, it's risky. Yeah, well, it's a risk that if you're a coach, you ask yourself, are you willing to take? So I think Pirates, in terms of their style of play, Mbokazi helped them a lot.
Yes.
I think if anything, if they want to keep the same style of play, although Olisa is good with his left foot, but his passes can't be a 40-meter pass with his left.
Okay.
They a 20, a 10, a 25, a 30. That's okay for him.
Do you think, now that you mentioned this, do you think that having those two guys and playing those diagonals, when Ndao was the only one who could play the diagonal, it was going towards a certain someone?
Of course.
On a certain side of the pitch. Do you think that when Ndao comes back, it's going to go back and maybe lift him? Just out of the blue.
But not necessarily, but I just think that maybe it gives the coach a challenge, you know, as to his tactical flexibility in terms of, okay, now I don't have balance in my build-up because I don't have a left footer. Then how do I play a lopsided build-up? Maybe on one side I do this, on the other side I do that. Maybe ask Siema to continue. But ask on the left-hand side, if Olisa is there, ask Olisa to play shorter passes combined. And then probably Dion is the one that, maybe if he uses Dion as an inverted fullback, he can do it from that position. But I don't think it's a profile that can go inside.
No. Okay. Yeah. Having a Dion Hoto to try to drop into that, it's a disaster.
So I think, but away from Pirates, individually for Mbokazi, I think it's a great move in terms of generational wealth, I'm assuming, if it does happen.
Or it's assumption match. So
last
week, Begati, you got to build generational wealth. You've got to go abroad. So Mauti, hopefully, wins again.
No, I'm saying if the move happens.
Yeah, so if it happens, it's generational wealth for you?
I think it sets him up for that.
Okay.
It does set you up. It's a great stepping stone to say, okay, now I can start. Because obviously, it's we all know, whether we like it or not, the money is obviously
in dollars.
It's in dollars.
So now here's my chat. So you were speaking about our South Africans, they don't have desire to play abroad. They don't want to be the best in the world. Do you think Mbokazi had the ambition to want to be the best in the world, or is it which I see the move?
For me, looking at that boy was his heart on his sleeve.
Okay.
Like with every performance. You know, he doesn't give you gray. It's either black or white. You are guaranteed a good performance. I mean, if I can ask you, when was the last time, or even was there ever a time whereby Mbokazi didn't have a great game?
Oh, it's very.
It's
very rare.
It's very rare. You know? So that level of consistency is demanding. I always tell, even when I talk to my players, I said, your negotiations as a footballer are done on the pitch.
Yeah.
Not with your mouth. You know, or your agent can be a good talker, your agent can have connections, but you negotiate inside the pitch. And I feel like with every performance, he was saying, guys, I don't belong here.
So
Emapili, what do you think about the signing?
But I was just
How?
about to
So we are
peg my face.
Hey.
So what my look, Mbokazi going to America is a great for himself individually. It's a great achievement. Earning in dollars,
and he needs to see it as a stepping stone. That's also another thing. He shouldn't see it as the ceiling. He should see it as a pathway to Europe, Champions League.
So now this is my chat. This is my worry. Him going there, right? I'm sad to lose him, Mbokazi. What a damn star. That left foot is just stuff of dreams. I'm sad to lose him, but I'm also happy that he's moving to America, wins Mali, and world stage, and hopefully can become stepping stone to something. But my question, my big concern is that there was no pattern or pathway to make sure that Mbokazi gets from Pirates to the US, right? There were no steps that were laid for him. Ngathi lento le iqhamuke out of nowhere.
Can I be a bit biblical? Ne? There's things that God gives and you can't fight. And no, listen, let me land. Ne? Let me land. Ne? There's as humans, we all have plans, right? There's kuluma ngama plan last week ukuthi okay, if like manje, this is a humanly plan, like a pathway with okay, this is a pathway for Mbokazi ukuthi afike la, ne? And then there are things that happen because God said they must happen. And Maupe Mbokazi, ne? I don't think Mbokazi was, to be honest, I don't think he was well developed. So from the get-go, God just gave him that talent and said, this is yours. So right?
This is the problem. Okay.
Because we have to have a reference in everything that we do, right? The reference can be human or godly, right? If you do believe in God, right? So now my reference in certain situations, like there's no way you can be so consistent, and sometimes you have to admit God's divine intervention in some of these boys' talent and how they are moving. You have to admit.
Just out of curiosity.
You could say it's an easy thing to say or a scapegoat of an excuse or reasoning, right? But I just get the feeling. I just get that.
So do you think God skipped really?
He didn't.
Okay.
Because also remember, everything happens in its own time and in God's time, right?
So it's a possibility.
And you know what's crazy, ne? Because we'll never understand certain things. Mbokazi can go USA, Europe, possible, right?
Yes.
You really can go South Africa, Europe.
Yeah.
Just because someone made it somewhere before you doesn't mean so you won't make it ahead of them.
And this is my worry, is that can you replicate another Mbokazi to happen? Ngoba like you're saying,
look,
let's be honest.
I think at some point,
but that's the issue. Why come to pin it?
You can try.
You see, that's not my. Do you know what my issue is? My issue is that we've had this conversation where we've spoken about how we lean on the natural abilities of these players, the natural way things played out. And my worry for me is not necessarily that Mbokazi is going overseas. My worry is that Mbokazi, and I was very misunderstood when I said this, but he fell into the Pirates' first team. Things happened, and he was talented. He's very talented, but it wasn't planned. He fell into it. People got injured. He just so happened to have Jose. Jose was like, come through. Yes. He falls into leadership. Abo Maela, they're retiring. The older players are on the bench. You need somebody. He seems to have the thing. Okay, Nigeza, he seems to be there. He's available.
George, you can't tell me that's not divine
No,
intervention.
I get, check. As divine as it is, what I'm saying is he divinely or otherwise, he keeps falling into these places. And what I worry is that we don't have a control. So we can't say, even now, when I speak to people about this Chicago Fire move, everybody's saying, we hope he's going to do well. We think he's going to adapt. We think there should be certainty at that level now. When he was found, they should have said, the pathway for Mbokazi, one of our brightest stars that we've had in decades in South Africa. Now we have to come together, club, agents, family, all of that stuff. We have to come together and say, this is now how we plot the way forward for this kid. Because what I'm afraid of is you'll fall into very lucky places. You'll fall into great situations. Then it'll stop. And now you're looking at a relay and you're going, okay, guys, now that relay hasn't gone overseas, what's the plan?
Yes.
What's the next 3 years look like? Will he go overseas? Have you guys had the conversation about it? Have you planned it? Or was it he was shining and then Shem, when he stopped shining, we look past him and you look to the next one and you say, Ulo.
So now my question, here's the thing, right? It's very difficult. So it makes sense why we say we hope he makes it, right? Because in a new environment, new type of football, new culture, new everything, right? It's very difficult to plan for those kinds of things so that he can, when he gets there, he just manages. I mean, any player that comes from any other league, as they say, goes into the Premier League, for instance, as an example. That thing, you don't automatically go no matter how good you are. There's that adaptation period. You hope you make it. As much as you can look at Florian Wirtz, for instance. He's struggling right now. It may be a coaching problem, or just maybe he's not being able to acclimatize to English culture, to the game. So it's very difficult to prep for those things, no matter how talented you are. That's why we hope.
Is it difficult?
You know, for me, also the part that overseas things are done a bit differently, in a sense that coaches have a lot of influence. I always tell players that don't go where you are wanted by management or no. Go where you are wanted by a coach. If the coach picks up a call and he says, George, come to my team, I want you. You know that the person that you will be with on a daily basis believes in your talent, sees your potential, knows your limitations, has studied you, has analyzed you, and knows how far you can go. And they can still get to know you better from a closer point of view, right? So I'm just hoping that Mbokazi is the coach that wants him. And I just hope that the coach stays in the team long enough, because you do get a move as Amachitapaya. They get moves to it's a great move for him. 3 months down the line, you are signed by the coach.
Coach.
For example, Pega Unyoso.
Yeah.
Sign Coach Hulana. It was Coach Hulani's signings. We all know that, right? It was his signing. As soon as Coach Hulani leaves, now it becomes a problem for who? For Lodge.
Yes.
So I just hope Nale Coach can be able to, so that it helps the adaptation.
I disagree.
Can he even make it?
I disagree. Can I just say I disagree?
With what?
Go to where management wants you. And you know why? Exactly what you said right now.
Because the coach can leave.
If the owner is saying, hey, you know, we've heard the stories. I've paid 50 million for Talefang. The coach, the manager, the owner comes to the coach and says, my guy,
but is that happening?
Here's the thing. Now, that happens a lot in I feel I've got a feeling that it happens a lot in our country.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Does it happen that
the
side?
Team owners actually go as far as that. But if you look at in the for me, it doesn't make sense. You can't hire someone and then tell them how to do their job. Why don't you just do it yourself?
Now I'm looking at it from a player's perspective. You're going to hire somebody, they're going to do their job, you're going to fire them tomorrow. And because you don't care about me, the team doesn't care about me. You know, they're going to say to me, Lodge, Antoine, you know who brought you here.
But
we don't care to lose you. But if it's a signing that was made, let's say the technical director, let's say I'll use South Africa, Fleming. If Fleming signs me, I know that when I get to Sundowns, I'm protected, Lepezul. And even maybe to go so far as to go, if things don't work out, I want to trust Fleming more than I trust the coach. Because Fleming might be able to speak to another technical director or somebody or whatever and get me a move somewhere.
Yeah.
Now I've gone for the coach. Coach Abantu Shem.
Can I go back to where I said negotiations of footballers are done on the pitch, right? If the coach believes in you and he's the one that signs you, right? Chances are, Leo coach, if he makes a signing and the management allow him, he'll still has time on his contract, right? I don't think they would allow any coach in management. They would say, next week, but you are able to sign players. Because at the end of the day, who does it affect the team, right? Yes. In terms of financially, right? The coach signs you, believes in you. You are playing when he's there. That's when you are negotiating. Now you are talking to the management. Your performances when you go in and week out are saying, I was not brought here because of favor. I was brought here because I deserve.
But does that happen in real life? Because
but it, like you can't fight. Listen, whatever happens, management always wants what's best for the team. They want results.
Yes.
So if you're a player and you are producing results, you are winning them over with your performances. So even when the coach leaves, the management can still say that guy
must play.
but then and he will continue delivering.
I hear you, but look at his situation. Blom. Blom at some point was a star in Philadelphia. Like he was one of the guys. It was Philadelphia, no, St. Louis. He was loved, right? Oh, Jiggy coach is fired, and they went.
Canal.
Yeah. Coach Canal is moved on, and even though he was such a great performer, even though he was such a management went.
Like sometimes, for example, look at Lodge.
Yeah.
Coach Ulani signed him. Like this is the perfect example. Signed him at Sundowns. When Coach Ulani left at Sundowns, his things became what? Shaky, right? He fell onto shaky grounds. Coach Ulani goes to Wydad, signs Lodge again. Coach Ulani leaves Wydad. Isn't Lodge blossoming?
No, 100%.
So you can't say therefore. If it happens like this, therefore it will. With the same player, same situation, different outcome.
No, but that's why I'm saying that's why I'd much rather sell out to the people that are running the team than to the coach. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The coach is very what's the word? Volatile. There's no
Joe, we're all employees.
Sure. Yeah,
but here's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm saying, George, I agree with you. We're just misunderstanding why.
I'm quickly. Just gonna ask.
For playing or like for the coach, it's a great platform.
Yeah.
To impress management. If management is not impressed yet, the end goal is to impress management. That's who pays you, right? You have to impress your bosses, the person that pays you, right? But the person that plays you is the one that brought you there, right? So the person that plays you already knows about you.
Yeah.
So now he's giving you a platform to impress the person that pays you. So there's two people, the one that plays you, the one that pays you. Okay. And they both need to be impressed. But the other one gives you a platform to impress the other one.
Okay.
Which I understand, right? What I'm concerned about is, can Mbokazi actually make it and succeed in the MLS? Is he built? Is he tall enough? He's strong for sure, but actually can he thrive in the MLS? That's the first thing I'm wondering. Number two, does the MLS even playing, we say we want to play abroad, right? Well, it's a good thing. Must all play abroad. But is it advantageous for his career, for the national team, for him in the national team, to play for Bafana Bafana, having playing for the MLS? Does that benefit him? Because like as you're saying, Oplom did not benefit him all that much. So now, is there an actual advantage for him going to the MLS?
But I think for me, MLS, maybe 5 years back, 6, 7 years back, my answer would be different. Okay. But with the way they've taken football seriously, you can see teams like what's Messi's team,
Miami.
They've brought in, they've marketed their football very well. So with them marketing their football very well, it means that the world watches the MLS. So now it's a great pathway now. But I don't think a couple of years back it was. because eyes needs to be on screen for people to be seen, right?
So I'm understanding it from a world stage. For sure, there are more eyes on the MLS for that because of Inter Miami, right? Would him going to Chicago Fire, was it Chicago Rapids? What is it?
Fire.
Rapids. Fire. Help him and help his career from a national.
Do you know what my problem is? My problem with the move is I think there's development that still has to happen with Mbokazi.
Yes.
And he's a 20-year-old that we are asking to still develop.
Yes.
And when he goes to the MLS and he develops, will he be able to go to Europe as a 21, 22, 23-year-old, right? And still stake a claim to being one of the guys that gets into the top teams, right?
Okay.
So my worry about Mbokazi is also what you're saying, is that what if he gets to the place and he stagnates?
Yes.
We already know how Hugo Bruce feels about the MLS.
Yes.
We know how he feels about those players,
Yes.
right? Right now, he's sitting at a place where he's got an AFCON coming up. He's one of the star players.
Yes.
Parachuted in. He's played 3 games, I think
First
it is.
name in the team sheet.
He's parachuted in.
Sure.
He's got a World Cup coming up.
Yes.
There was a boy, Ukesias Mailula, who was in a very similar situation
Yes.
where the whole world was open for him.
Yeah.
And now he finds himself, I think he's in Belgium now. He's trying to play in Belgium. There's a team, I think, that took him. And now he's bouncing around and he's lost all of those
Yes.
options. I worry that in terms of a career step, yes, people are saying that it's a stepping stone to Europe, let's say. Guys, spend a year here, spend 2 years here, spend 3 years here. Usayolwa nabole yamal.
But like, is it really bad, guys? Are you
But here's the
Usayolwa nabole yamal.
I'm thinking to myself,
if you don't go,
whoa, just can I finish this thought? Okay. Like, my thing is, I've always assumed, my assumption is that we want to go to Europe. Europe has the better facilities, the best leagues, the strongest, and the assumption is that our players will improve, right? And then when the players improve, they'll improve our national team, right? Sharp. But now I think to myself, I look at a Lyle Foster that's playing at Burnley, right? Top level. Is he better than the strikers that we currently have in the PSL?
he is.
Depends.
I think he is.
It depends on how you look at it.
Okay. Talk to me.
Does he do what evidence... Evlala.
My guy.
Evlala. Makopaldinho, Makopatowski. Sorry.
You know
sorry.
my guy.
Sorry.
Yes.
Does he do in Bruce's team? Can he do what evidence does at the level? So you might be better on paper, but within the team, your profile might not work.
Yes.
So
Which
like
is
every time
fair.
we've seen Lyle Foster go Bafana, you know he can finish.
But he
You know he
doesn't
can
look-
play. Mara, because of how we play,
Yes,
I
yes.
don't think he fits.
It works well.
If
When
that
you
makes
But
sense.
if you were to put every striker in South Africa as he asked,
That's what I'm
pound for
asking.
pound with
No,
him,
but that's what I'm
Like a
saying.
Bradley Grobler.
That's why I'm saying my thing is you can look better on paper and do nothing within the actual team.
Contextually, yeah.
You get what I
That's
mean?
true.
You can be the worst person on paper, but
But
in
do
this team,
something.
we are baba. You get what I mean? So I think that's something that we have to look at. Maybe in Mbokazi's case, it's easier in defense. It's a little bit easier because his profile allows him to play out from the back to do those things,
Yes.
which is on top of
Yes.
what we've had previously, right? So maybe for Mbokazi's case, when you put him in Bafana Bafana, it's a plus.
You know what I get ne, with national teams, ne? Because if you look at football, right, the offensive actions
Yes.
are so many.
Yeah.
Like in the offensive line or the offensive third,
Yes.
there's so many actions that
Yes.
happen there, right? Within the defensive third, the actions are simple. You either go aerial, you go side, you go left, you go forward, you go backwards. But there up top, there needs to be chemistry. There needs to be understanding. There needs to be some sort of
In terms of
telepathy.
actions.
In terms of in terms of
okay,
telepathy,
yeah.
right? But now in the national team, how many times you get to play with these people? right? That's also a factor. Let's be
chemistry,
honest.
for sure.
The chemistry is a factor because udlala phambili. And a phambili, there's so many actions. Really needs to understand you. If he's playing on the right wing, when we funa kanjani ball. And sometimes the strikers suffer because of that.
Yes.
But if you look at, for example, that's why I agree with the decision of, I support the decision of picking players that are from the same team. Like ube about 4 players from the same team. Sundowns, Pirates, the teams that are doing very well, competing. So the chemistry at national team level is very important because there you are selecting.
There's no time.
You are very coaching. So you need the players to be in sync, to know one another. And maybe Lyle suffers from that in the national team. He doesn't suffer from an individual quality point of view.
Yeah, no.
So, but my question, the assumption is that because he plays for Burnley, I've always said, like I said, if you're going out there, you must be the best. Right?
No, but remember,
but it's better than what we have.
But remember how I think the focus of the national team changed.
Okay.
So back then, Penny, you'd have Benny, you'd have Pinar, you'd have Quintin Fortune, you'd have Aaron Mokwena. Those guys were all playing that side.
Yes.
And there was a football that comes with that. So when you speak about strikers, for example, our local players, let's talk wingers. I don't call them wingers, I call them forwards.
Yes.
Because our wingers score.
Yes.
They're not pass first people. They want to go score. So you're not going to find the balls that Lyle Foster might be getting at Burnley.
Yes.
True.
So when he makes a run, Moremi is not looking at you, bro.
Yes.
Moremi,
I'm going to score.
You know, Mfukeng wants to chop someone and go and score himself. Our police wants to score. We watch Pirates. I always say about Pirates, the reason why evidence is so good at Pirates is because that's one player who's willing to pass the ball.
Yes.
He's willing to set you up. If you want to shoot,
to play around,
evidence will go, my guy.
So I understand contextually.
Yeah. So now, because of the shift that Hugo Bruce made, I think it's locally based. Yes. So our national football is very different to the football that Lyle Foster plays.
Yes.
Very.
So that's why Lyle Foster is not going to click in this team, right? For me, personally, that's how I view it. That he's gonna watch about police running up and down up until evidence was at home. Remember, evidence wasn't even chosen the last time.
Do we need a Lyle Foster in our team?
I think the optics of it says we need the Lyle Foster.
Yeah, true.
It's the optics. It's because to say no, we've got an English Premiership striker.
You know what I feel. Ne? What I feel is that I think there can be mechanisms that can be used to help Lyle, and to help the rest of his teammates understand him better.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there can be mechanisms, whether video footage. You won't have much of training time, on the pitch, but I'm a video. Yeah, but okay, what does Lyle give us?
Yes.
Is he a box striker?
Yeah.
Is he a link-up striker? Does he drop deep, help us
in behind?
Is he? Yeah, but I feel like if Coach Hugo can get that right, it will help Lyle because Lyle, I was fortunate enough to see him. I think it was about 12.
Yeah.
Right. His cousin Ulutha. I played with his cousin Ulutha Singh, who plays overseas right now. So from a young age, that kid was special. Even now, there's a video. I think they posted. I think it was Michael Morton that posted it. Uteki Bola, that thing like opposite foot under the other one. Like you can see the talent is there. He's got it. He's a top player. It's just that there's this gap, man,
so
that I can't figure out.
Just my thing, right? My thing is that you made me think about something, right? Because I'm trying to think about having a national team of players that play internationally should mean that our national team is strong, right?
Not necessarily.
That's the thought process.
Okay.
Usually. Because if you want to say, like you're talking about ambition, wanting to be the best, you have to go and play up there and come and bring those, I'm assuming those talents that you've learned, whatever things you've learned, to bring them into the national team. But now when you raise this point, the way Bruce has now set up this national team, it's a local focus, right? So now, in terms of it being beneficial to play internationally for Bafana Bafana, is it now dependent on the coach and what the coach wants?
This is what I think my view of overseas, I think, is very different than the normal views.
Okay.
My view of overseas is the reason why you're sending Urile, you want Urile to go overseas. It's not for him to change how he plays. It's for him to gain some of the other tools that we don't have here. So you see the thing that I was saying about Urile, what I want from Urile is that right now he's supremely gifted at taking on a player. Mbokazi is supremely gifted at being the biggest, strongest player there. What I want him to do when he goes overseas is to learn, okay, manje, when you're not the strongest, what do you do?
Yes.
How do you
get me?
How do you adapt?
When really you find yourself in this situation, can you find a cross that can get to Lal Foster because you're now in this situation?
Instead of just taking
right? So my view of that, and I think what's interesting about Bafana Bafana is that we've always had a separation of that. So the guys who've played overseas for Bafana, our big stars usually hardly played here.
Yes.
So when they're coming back from that side, they are European players for all intents and purposes. You get me? Now we are sitting with South Africa now with Bruce, where we've got a bunch of local players who are very good playing the local game, but we don't have that connection to the. So Mina, I would like these group of players and the players that are coming up is to say, Urile is really gifted in one thing. I need him to develop 5 or 6 other tools. And then when he comes back, he can play any of the footballs because he's been taught how to do that. The top guys, I always say the top guys in the world, it's not that they are more talented than you. It's just that
they can adjust better.
And the coaching has taught them that, okay, you've got 7 options. Your natural talent has given you 3.
Yes.
This guy has learnt another 4 on top. So when you meet each other, he doesn't know what to do. When you try put him into the corner, Kylian Mbappe goes, oh, Ghana, I can go inside to be a 10.
Yes.
Oh, I can make this run. I can do that. That's what I. But I want us just to go back to the conversation just briefly about Mbokazi. There's a thing, and when we mention the players that have played overseas, none of them have been superstars. Lal Foster was never a superstar of South Africa. Okay, Lucas Radebe, you could argue that when he left, he was close, but Abo Steven Pinar were not superstars of Msauda.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that plays into this thing of going overseas? So Mbokazi right now, big star. We love him. TLP, Simtanda song. When he goes overseas, does the adaptation change? Because what I remember when I spoke to Josta Dladla about this, guys, kumnandi la eMzansi. And when you go that side, you are a foreigner. You are new. You're starting from scratch. Nobody's screaming your name. Nobody's doing. And some of them apparently they feel as though, "Hi man, yazi kaya." Kumnandi kaya.
But the question is, what is a superstar?
I'm
a superstar.
I'm talking the guys who went overseas and were successful long term. So you can argue that Lal Foster might be more successful long term as a player that side. Right? Bo Dikgashu wasn't necessarily the biggest star, but he played for a while that side. Abo Beni and those guys weren't treated like stars here before they left. Do you think that the comforts of home and us treating them that way makes it harder for them to go that side?
I mean, of course. Because that's the thing, right? Like you're talking about when you get there, you're a nobody. Right?
You're starting from scratch, Joe.
You are not the first name of the team sheet. You've got to impress everybody.
You're the plumber.
You must impress. But you're some guy from Africa. Where do you come from? What's Africa, bro? Yeah. Because already the sentiment coming from, forget Africa, that came already, man. Right? Then you must still prove that. So when you've proven yourself, then you've built a career. Now you're like, you are him now. Now you're saying to me, I must go there and start from scratch. It's a very difficult, I can imagine, for your ego, for adaptation. It hurts you to now say, to humble yourself and say, okay, I've got to start from scratch. But then it makes it easy when you speak about the ambition, right? If your ambition is to be the best, you must humble yourself.
But is there that, because all of the stories I've heard of the players that have gone overseas from Zanzi,
yes,
they didn't even know They didn't even like, for example, Lucas Khatebe was the friend who the team signed to accompany Phil Masing.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
There was nothing expected really from him, and I don't know if he expected to be the best.
I didn't even know that.
No, he was. So the team came for Phil Masing,
Yeah.
and then because of the adaptation thing overseas,
You need somebody
they
to
came
come
and
just
they were
to
like,
help
"Hey,
you.
who else can we take?" And then the guys were like, "No, nangu Lucas, Uru, Mtati." Uru was playing reserve games. There was a point where he didn't even know if he was going to stay that side for the work permit stuff because he got injured and he was playing reserve. Anyway,
Damn.
long story. So it seems as though the guys who make it overseas, it's not necessarily that they want to go be the best. It's just that, okay, Antoine, na opportunity.
Here's George. It goes back to the mentality part. As a person, right? As a coach, person in your personal life, as a player, don't let past history represent you. Let the current represent you. If you focus on what last year I won this, I did that, you will never grow. You will never, because if you're that's all you're always referencing history. Focus on the current.
Not creating
If manje you are a kasi hero. Kasi hero la mzansi sikshaya izandla.
All the time.
We salute you. You are this brand. Go elsewhere and have the mentality of I'm dealing with today as I should deal with today.
But if I stay local, I might get picked for the national team because my boy Hugo Bros likes local players.
No, it's not even about that. It's about understanding.
But doesn't that play into it as well?
It does. To be honest, it probably does. I think it probably does.
Yeah.
And it's for example, Mbokazi is gonna leave and go overseas, right?
Yes.
Already he has played a couple of games for the national team, and he has shown that I'm a cut.
I'm that guy. I'm him.
Yeah, he has shown. So there's a level of trust. Unlike Okashas, Okashas never really got a chance in the national team. Mbokazi has claimed that position.
Okay.
So he's leaving with that. Coach Hugo Bruce selects a player that's not even playing when he believes in the player. Now about evidence. Now about who's the Nico Mobi. So whether Mbokazi is doing well that side or not,
Nico, shame.
yeah, eventually it was gonna happen. But whether Mbokazi goes that side or not, I don't think the chances of the national team really matter so much
to him
because Coach Hugo we accident on 15 games on that. And these guys really do go to the national team and prove him right.
Yeah.
Unless you play for Chiefs.
Sipo, for example, Sipo hasn't been playing much in terms of starting games. Go Pirates. But go national team.
But I think it's a very interesting thing to think about because also Mbokazi as a player right now, for all intents and purposes, everything has gone right for him.
Yeah, it was just
he's had a year. No, but what I'm saying is, what happens? No, but what happens when you hit that first tough space?
Yes.
You know what happens? Like for example, I'm trying to think. Imagine I'm a star. I'm a captain. Nyakora. Having win a trophy. Kumbula, like you know the thing you were saying about the past. I'm sure it hits a little bit harder when I'm sitting on the bench.
Yes.
No, 10 minutes, and I'm thinking to myself, yes, I was a captain.
One of the biggest teams.
Long range Doesn't those things also make it harder?
Yes.
Because when those guys, like for example, no disrespect to him, but who plays in Romania, Ungezan.
Oh my God.
Ngezan has memories of people calling him Inkomo. Right? He doesn't have that thing in him when it gets hard that I remember as the Bengi cheese boy corn. It's just okay, we just work. Do you think that those things are stuff that we don't think about when we look at these players?
No, we don't.
Like if Rile leaves right now at how old is he? 21? 2021. If he leaves right now, Urile is the face of South African football. Imagine a penchini, how that is going to hit you, and things like mental health, things like depression, things like all of that.
Sponsorship, for instance, right? When you go there and become a nobody, a simple thing like that.
And how does that play on you? It does. For example, Coach Rulani was speaking about Pirates. And he said that in a podcast episode, he said that, that Pirates thing hurt me deeply, right? And part of my thing was that I needed to go to any team. He went to Chipa not because he wanted to go to Chipa, but Chipa was an option for him to get back into it. Do our players have that chance for them to be able to go, okay, fine, I can come back and regroup and then go back? Or is it one thing?
Yeah, I think that's something we don't think about. Even Nami, as a fan and as a coach, sometimes I forget to see players as human beings, right? I just see Mbokazi, any player. You must just go there and perform and make things happen. You've got an opportunity to go to America. Go there and give everything and make sure you succeed and have ambition and have all these things. But now when you come, like you're saying, how look up benching? When you know you're a starter all the time, when you know you're that guy, when you know Mapeti border, people chant for you, people have warm greetings for you. Then you go to another country, you start from scratch. Is he able to come back from that? Can he bounce back from that? It's a very good question because I don't think about it like that. Because these are human beings.
I think they can be mechanisms put in place
to support.
Yes. It's like I was watching some video on TikTok, right? It's a marriage psychologist, something like that. Uti, before people get married, they should see a thingy, a psychologist, for that, for marriage,
the transition.
Yes, the transition from dating to marriage, right? I feel like even in football, players should have people that are always on their ears to be like, okay, now you are going here. These are the expectations. This is that. This is that. So if it doesn't work out, it's like death. When you don't see it coming and it's an accident, it hits deeper.
Yeah.
But if someone has been sick for long, you see it coming. And you can, although it will still hurt, but I knew it's coming. So the disappointment is not as of someone, everything for Mbokazi is going like everything is perfect.
Yeah.
In order. All of a sudden, an injury happens. God forbid. And then now he struggles to get back from that. He's a bench player, goes to the reserves, does this. That will mentally eat you up. But if there's someone that tells him, remember, you are playing a physical sport. As much as he knows in the back of his head, but if there's someone that he talks to regularly.
But are we doing that for our players?
That's why I need to umbuze a very important question before we started the show. And you're like, is really a superstar? I was like, yes. I think you said, why is he not overseas? I said, the system suppresses him. I think the system in South Africa suppresses a lot of our players.
In what way? When you say, because one thing not to help you, but to suppress you is a different story.
Yes,
to suppress, what do you mean?
Here's the thing, right? Really, as a national, for me, he's a potential national team asset.
Yeah.
Right? There's about teams who are national team asset. And then there's Rele who's a potential. And then Go Pirates, he's a Orlando Pirates asset.
Yes.
Right? And I feel like a lot of really not going overseas has more to do with Pirates than him. That's just the feeling that I have.
So you say Pirates is holding him back for their own selfish reasons.
It's a possibility.
I'll say it. He's part of the brand. There's players who are part of the brand. Lodge was part of Pirates' brand.
Yes.
You are the face.
Manyisa. So Rele is falling into that.
We can't let you go. It'll be very hard for us to let you go.
So because trust me,
Unkota than him. So
yes,
was not
because Rele is a crowd puller. Izola was at Orlando Stadium, and I don't know the capacity we're seeing Akila, but probably over 25 to 30K. I'm sure 15,000, half of that crowd is there to see Rele. He's a crowd puller. So he makes you money. So you don't want to. He's an asset.
Yeah, you can't let him go, unfortunately.
You just can't. There are players like Abu Tito. Tito is a crowd puller. Pirates Sipo is a crowd puller. That's why Orlando Igwala Kanje. They are exciting players. So Abo really will probably suffer the consequence. And you can't really blame Pirates, but you can blame them.
Because it makes sense. You gotta keep them here because
Pirates want
business,
to make money.
guys.
They want to
Yes.
grow their brand. They want to. If there was this thing overseas, when they sign a player and then Bapalama t-shirt and they sell those t-shirts, if O'Reilly was overseas with his Pirate status, he would sell out every season in terms of t-shirts because he's that guy. He's that kid.
But isn't that what holds them back? Isn't that what holds back our stars? That Tina Urile, in as much as he's a superstar and he's great and we love him, it's almost like we feel like he's the finished product right now.
And he's not.
We feel as though Mbokazi, all the guys we make a noise about, we feel as though they're the final boss, they're the final product.
But that speaks to football in general. I mean, stars are becoming younger and younger and younger.
No, but I mean actual stars. Like, I mean, again, my bar is if I drop Relay into a Champions League semi-final, UEFA, tomorrow, is he there? Mbokazi, if I drop him into...
But Relay can ball anywhere.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. That you get what I'm saying.
Really?
But I think it's
it's the things that come with that is my issue. I don't mind you being a superstar, but is somebody really now looking out for Relay? To say Relay Ntwana, you still have to. There's still other places to go.
So when you
and will he listen?
So when you say a superstar, right? Are you saying a superstar that's local, that's able to transmit that superstardom abroad so that he can actually be a superstar abroad? Like, what do you say when you talk about superstar? What do you mean?
I'm saying if you take any of the players right now and you put them with all of the players that we love and we watch in world football, where do they rank? Because I can look at a Benny McCarthy and say there was a season where he outscored Cristiano in the English Premiership.
And
He's got a Champions League medal.
Yes.
Sadio Mane, all of those guys, I can look at them. Mohamed Salah, I can look at them and say, you know what? Even if their countries are not countrying the way, but I can put them with everybody in the world, and there'll be no complaint. When Salah stands up, there's an Englishman who goes, no, this is the best in the world.
Yes.
Do we have South Africa? Why don't we have those players, Jen?
It's hard.
The thing is, you'll only know when it happens.
Because Bala, so Asala, McCarthy, whoever, right? They are already playing against those level of players.
But isn't also that...
It makes it difficult. It's like you're talking about comparing apples to oranges.
No, but what I'm saying is, again, back to the question I was asking about our stars. I don't think anybody was clapping for Mohamed Salah in Egypt when he left. You get what I mean?
True.
I don't think anybody was clapping for Sadio Mane when they left and went overseas. They didn't have that treatment before they went that side. They sort of built it after. With us, maybe it's because of media, obviously media, social media, what, our history, our teams. We create them and make them stars here, but they never. And the players that have were also people that weren't noisy here.
They just were.
Are we the
problem?
I'm asking.
It's a valid question.
But you know why? That's why the system plays a role. Because the system wants to keep... Remember also the PSL name. This is... Don't look at it Pirates' point of view. If Dr. Ivan Khoza is going to sell this thing to Betway or to whichever sponsor, when he sells it, it's a matter of these are the numbers. Which players bring the number? It's entertainment.
No, that's why I'm asking.
But the real thing is that Lentole, it's
this thing. Like,
it's layers. It's layers and layers.
And I understand because it's not like you're saying. You understand why they don't want Urele to go. Right? It doesn't make sense because.
But at the same time, I don't understand.
You can't let him go.
Okay.
Let him go, but don't let him go.
So then, for the last 10 minutes here, let's discuss then. If then we were put in charge of football I always do this to you and Lindo. Yes. We were put in charge of football. How do you create South African superstars to the world? Like, how do we get to a place where we had Abo Penny, we had Abo Sean Bartlett, we had Abo Pinar, we had Abo Ri, at some point we had so many players that were viable in the world. How do you do that again?
Was that luck? Because having the Pennies, Pinars, and whatever's, all those SA players go abroad. Was that luck?
I don't think it was luck per se. And the reason why I say it's luck...
Or was it more just... was it luck? That's the first question.
Yeah.
Number two, is it a thing of there was not enough money in the PSL already as it is, then it only makes sense you need to leave to actually live a comfortable life. Because right now you can have a very comfortable life playing for the top three and be in the PSL.
No, I think it's always been comfortable, relative. It's always been comfortable. But I think... I believe that our football, coming out of apartheid,
yes,
we had a big drive to be great in the world. Like, it was like a thing where South Africans had to, like, our whole drive, I was Screamer, I was Banbani, they were all working towards, we have come into the world, we have to show them that we've got the best. Yeah. And they were looking that way. Now, with what you're saying, it's a big thing. Commercially, all of that stuff... When I asked you,
isn't it Dr. Patrice Motsepe who said in an interview, pay our players well so that they don't have to look overseas.
No, but what I wanted to say was, if you look at it, right? You look at it. I remember asking you guys, does Dr. Ivan Khoza have to care about the CAF Champions League? You get what I mean? Does he have to? Everything is working here. Financial, commercial, media, what? Yeah. Do I have to care about? And I think at the time, back then, the difference was because we were emerging, we wanted, you know what I mean? Like, part of that was a big deal. A lot of the deals were literally put together because somebody called somebody.
Yes.
You know, I remember they spoke about Bongani Khumalo, and Gavin Hunt said, no, I was at some manager's thing that side. He was with the Tottenham people. And he literally said, oh, you guys are looking for a defender. I've got a boy. Now,
have a look at him.
Just like that. Do we still have the drive to do those things?
I mean,
or is it fine being contained? Even as South Africans, remember I asked this question, as South Africans, do we genuinely care about the things that are happening outside of South Africa?
Yes.
Even in Africa, do we care? Do you care about the AFCON as much as somebody from Senegal?
Because this is why I had.
What you are saying is just cheesy.
Oh, Simnan.
Yeah, that's my chat. That's what I was
saying.
Simnan.
Is it soft
really,
life?
Is it really ambition to go abroad?
No,
is it really a step up?
We've convinced ourselves. We've convinced ourselves. It's even worse than that. We've convinced ourselves that the relay is a superstar. I heard people saying, the conversation we were having before this, Haaland versus Mbokazi. And I'm like,
what do you mean?
Can you even have that conversation?
In what world? That's why when you say, Guti, when you ask Champions League, really, you're like, oh, he can ball anyway. You're like, can he really though?
Really special.
But no.
Because you know, I have the confidence to say that simply because talent not really talent you can put it anywhere. It's like it will always grow.
But it's disrespectful to say right now.
No,
right now.
Today.
You know what can happen, right? I give you a saying Champions League.
It's like, are we deluded?
No, we're not.
Are we deluded? No, are we deluded?
Semi-final. UEFA Champions League semi-final.
Take really umfage what's in
PSG.
The name probably PSG or Manchester City team. From natural talent point of view, right? Natural talent point of view, he can hold his own. Right? He can probably not be as effective as Abu the guys that are that side already because they understand the dynamics. Abu Dembele, they've been at that level for long enough, more than him. Those are the things that can be against him.
Those are big things, though.
It's like, for example, George, me as a coach, this is what I believe.
Yeah.
Naturally, talent for talent, I know how far I am.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But there are coaches that have better resources, maybe have done more coaching licenses than me, and that's their
More
advantage.
exposure. Yes.
Yeah, but they have exposure.
Yes.
That's the those
No,
things do matter.
but your talent for talent. But this is what I'm saying. Okay, let's use your example. Talent for talent. You could be the best coach in the world, right? Management. I drop you into Manchester United and they go, Ntwana, you're gonna spend 5 minutes on the pitch. The rest is just dealing with everything else that's happening. So that's why I need to talent for talent. Maybe Mbokazi is not that far from Haaland, right? Talent for talent.
Maybe.
But because of exposure
Haaland has
and
had years.
Years
Dortmund,
of
what,
This is why I was saying-
what.
And this is why I was saying, Megan Faga, no. To Ksasa.
And and we're also minimizing those things. That's why I need to, even when we're
Exactly.
speaking about it, I think we're
Yes.
minimizing those things as to how much those things actually
Play a part,
matter.
yes.
So I think that's why, and we have convinced ourselves that Rila's
Okay,
fine.
maybe
Rila's
we
fine
can
right
put
now.
In a place where he won't feel out of place. Maybe we can put it like that. Maybe he
I
might
still
not
feel
ball,
like he'll be out of place.
but I don't think he would feel out of place.
I don't
Polo ke polo, mfethu. When you have,
It's
Polo,
like you're
mfethu.
saying, like example yakho that you're giving now as a coach, Bagnigi Man City manje. Nai. Do you think?
You know, if manje nebathini, bathi nayi Man City, but we sikana our player I-25,
Yebo?
sika 2 hours, train them.
Mm.
Ah, my friend.
But that's not the job.
I'm gonna have the time of my
But that's not the job.
So guys,
I'm gonna have the
Champions
time
in the Champions
of
League. It's
my
like Champions League in the week.
No, you guys are talking about Champions League. Mina ngithi, I give you Pep's job now.
Yes.
And I say,
because I don't have experience.
That's why I
of
need to
it.
forget about
I wanna lama plus because
No,
I don't
forget
have-
about the pitch. Manage the stuff.
Yes.
Today, I'm
But
dropping you in and I'm
Ubani.
saying there's 30 people that you have to manage now.
Who are- but
And
find
you have
out-
to do
you know
exactly
who
what
Picasso
Pep
is.
does.
Do you know who
but
Picasso
here's
is?
the
No,
thing,
not even
guys.
from a disrespect perspective.
But that's now we're comparing apples and oranges.
No, but that's the point of the thing that I think what we've done is we've gone because Relay is so talented. He can fit. I'm saying that it's the same as the thing I was saying earlier. I'm not sending Relay overseas because he's talented. I'm sending Relay overseas because there's the small boring
Yeah,
things
so
and the
that's
big things.
corner, like he can improve in so many
That
things that I see
he
from
can
a coaching
improve.
eye, ne?
Uta, he can improve. But if I drop him in today, my problem is that we talk as though today. When the person said Mbokazi versus Haaland today, I'm like, hi guys.
guys.
That's actually disrespectful to Haaland.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
Disrespect. That's my thing. And I think
I concede.
maybe Babizan, maybe it's patriotism.
Yeah, uthanda umuntu we-country.
No, but your patriotism must be to see the person
Must
at
be
the top
logical.
of. No, it must be to see Rile be the best player in the world.
Yes.
Not to believe that he's the best player in the world.
But also,
Hi guys, there's two different things.
Urele, there's. But I see improvements in him, yeah, but even though he's playing local football, there's a lot of improvements. For example, I'll give you a typical example. Urele bega trepi bola for a camera. For Uvino. Maliza so at outside foot in
Yeah, you know.
But now really understands that man trepa le bola. Ngitrepela imali 8 million MTN 8. Yabo. No, let's be honest. It's ngitshele, my man.
That's
No,
a bar, bro. He's done.
That's a bar.
My man. My man. No, it's not angibeki guy.
No, you are.
Yeah,
Outside football.
Because why? He was a kid.
Yeah.
And he was having the time of his life. This is the first time on this platform. He's enjoying himself. So the immaturity will show at some point. Vino share snap, uyasiposta ne Instagrams nama likes.
Yeah.
Manje ne urele shows that mentally I'm elsewhere. I'll
Yes.
give you an example ngedabi ne. When they won, when Tito chipped that
The penalty.
the la bola lize so. Urele that was immature because of trepping outside. Ubloma covered la bola liphumele ngaphandle. But urele that is growing. Wa control le bola with his feathers foot walbega.
And I think
Which is the rightful way, the right action,
Yeah.
and the right thing.
but
to
the
do in
sad
that
part
moment.
the sad part is that Relay had to come to that realization it feels, almost by himself. Does it make sense?
You don't know that. You don't.
He's
know
20.
No.
No. Whoa.
But high
Whoa.
chances
Whoa.
are.
Listen, no. This is what I'm saying. Rile was a first team player before he realized that he needed to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Because Lentole, he should have understood.
You are at the top level. That's the top level.
And that is basic.
And that's what we're asking. Check. And that's what we're asking. My problem with our league is we're asking those guys to also, here's the other part. You've played first team. You must unlearn the thing that put you top in South Africa in order for you to become best, let's say, in the world. So you also have to, right now was dropped into Chiefs. What do we say about Mdu all the time? They were trapped on a corner, then he does those passes, right? Now he has to unlearn at 21, first team inside, made his Bafana debut at some point. He has to now unlearn that and relearn it at 21, 22, 23. How old is he?
Here's the chat. But here's the chat. I'm hearing your point that if you're going to become a first team player, that should not be in your game already. I hear that chat, right?
Oh,
wait.
Yeah.
Now, but you can say the same thing for the likes of Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, but right? Bukayo Dodo.
And
yes.
That's what I'm saying to you. You don't know.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's really come to that realization by himself or it's coaching.
Cool.
Because with Bukayo, as a youngster, in the first team, has tendencies.
How old was he?
That are also
How old was
immature.
he? How old was he?
When
he was playing for Arsenal first team. How old was he?
A teenager.
How old is Real?
21 now.
Versus a Bukayo Saka that made his debut at what age? So it's either you can make those mistakes, but we need you then to be making those mistakes first team when you're 16.
Yeah, when I'm Urele is at a point now. Urele udlala ibhola lemali. Like he's matured now. Like there's uyabona pass la eshaya izolo ne akusi pass encane le. And akusi pass yomntwana le. There's those.
That's where coach.
Yazi Urele bekazoenzani Urele wa last season.
Yeah.
Bekazobambalela bhola ne. Afune maybe to drive with the ball, take on people, do a lot of unnecessary things. But lento le ibonisa growth. Every time I see elements of efficiency,
to be efficient.
Yeah.
No, but I hear you. But again, now, and then you want that player.
If Rele can go overseas, I improve so and you see these elements and
local.
I hear you. But then you want him to go overseas and compete with the Lamine Yamal.
There's no time to.
Who's learning that thing now at 18 at the highest level?
That's why last week in Chile, as coaches, we should do better. So we should do better.
No, guys. So
not Trepeluvino,
man. But when you are 15, man.
It's understandable,
guys. Spresile today. But remember again, it's not that we are right. We're not telling you what is meant to happen. This is meant to spark conversations that are going to happen in the comments right now. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all of those very nice things and join the press. My name is Joseph Kwena, aka Overthinking Football. And then, of course, I've got Football with Khalifang on this side. Then I've got Coach Picasso coming back and dropping bars. Not Trepeluvino. Nani subscribe Luvino la pekai. Guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. Don't forget, like, share, comment, subscribe,
please.
All of that nice stuff. We'll see you guys on the next one.